Hello, this is Matteo, Chief Mobile Opinionist at Tech Travel Geeks. Today the Tech Travel Geeks are back to review the Meizu M6s, an affordable smartphone from China. The Meizu M6s has a 5.7-inch HD Plus display. That means that it has an 18:9 aspect ratio and 1440 by 720 pixels. The display of the Meizu M6s is covered in 2.5D glass. That means it's curved along the edges. That curved glass curves into the aluminium unibody of the rest of the device, so the corners of the whole smartphone are rounded and not edgy at all. The aluminium unibody is sandblasted, which means it's soft to the touch and not at all slippery like other devices we've seen in the past. It's unusual to have such a premium build on a device in this price range. Not only that, the Meizu M6s is also powered by a Samsung Exynos 7872 chipset. That means that it's a 6-core processor, or a Hexa-Core one, built on the 14nm process. 6 cores means there's 2 high-power cores for power-intensive tasks, such as video editing, photo editing, or playing games. And there's 4 low-powered cores for everyday tasks, like messaging, social media, and browsing the web. The Samsung chipset is paired with 3GB of RAM, and in this case 32GB of storage. There's also a 64GB model. Both of them are expandable with microSD up to an extra 128GB, which for most users is way more than enough. The industrial design, as I mentioned, of the Meizu M6s is very premium, but you'll find no fingerprint sensor on the front or the back of the device. That's because Meizu's industrial design team placed the fingerprint scanner on the right side of the device, just under the power button. This is ergonomically very pleasant to use once you get used to it. Picking up the device both with your left or right hand, depending on which fingerprints you've registered, is fast and responsive. It also is quite a good way to make sure you don't accidentally turn the volume up and down or power on and off when you're trying to do something. All that processing power from the Samsung chipset is put to good use by Meizu's Flyme OS Android distribution. Flyme OS, while being very fruity smartphone company inspired, is actually very pleasant to use and pretty consistent in terms of design throughout. It's a bit cartoony, but Flyme OS has its own theme store, which means you can change the theme depending on your preferences. With the Meizu M6s, Meizu have innovated by introducing the Halo button, which is a single gesture-driven button for navigation, which replaces the traditional Android soft keys for back, home, and multitasking. With the Halo button you can tap on it to go back, press it to go home, and swipe up on it to open multitasking. It takes a bit of getting used to, but is actually very pleasant to use once you do. While on the right side of the device there's a power button and a fingerprint sensor, for the volume rockers on the left side of the device. The top is pretty simple, with just a hole for the microphone, and on the bottom of the device, that's where all the action's happening, with the micro USB port for charging, the Courage port, or 3.5mm audio jack, and the speaker grill. On the back you'll find the 16 megapixel camera. That's a 16 megapixel Samsung sensor behind an f2 lens. The camera takes good pictures in good lighting conditions, and passable pictures in low light. There's really nothing to complain about in a device of this price range. I would say it actually punches well over the competition from companies such as Nokia. The selfie camera is an 8 megapixel camera located on the front of the device at the top. That takes good selfies and also has some interesting softer beautification modes, including a manual one, which will let you, well, make you look a bit more alien than you already do. The Meizu M6s has a 3000 mAh battery, which paired with the HD Plus display, the Samsung chipset, and Flyme's optimizations for power consumption, make it an ideal device to get through a whole day. I was really surprised by how well the battery performed on this compared to other devices in that price range. It also charges relatively quickly. The included charger, uses something called M-Charge and charges pretty quickly, so within 2 hours I had a full battery. So, to sum things up, the Meizu M6s is a great value for money smartphone, which delivers premium build, good battery life, very good performance, and quite a pleasant OS. Well, that's it for this review. Lukic and I hope you've enjoyed this video, and obviously our gratuitous drone footage that we've put in just because we can. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more of this and the Tech Travel Geeks podcast, please subscribe to us here on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on Google Podcasts, or Pocket Casts. Links will be in the description. Again, thanks for watching. Speak to you soon.